Hearts. You see them everywhere this time of year. On cards and videos, on television programs and commercials. There are paper hearts, hearts made of gold, lace hearts, and chocolate hearts. But our favorite, of course, are stone hearts. Hearts made of the most beautiful material on earth.
So many beautiful rocks. That's a nice thing to find on my way out.
The next step was to use a trim saw to cut away excess rock around the edges. I didn't film this part because my rock saw throws oil like a gusher. The next step was to use 6 wheels on our Cab King grinder polisher. The first one takes the most time, as this is the coarse wheel responsible for shaping and removing most of the excess stone. The wheels go from coarsest to finest, left to right. The most important thing is to remove scratches from the previous stone on the next finer grit. Once you've moved to one of the left-hand wheels, your job is nearly done. The polishing takes only a small amount of time compared to grinding. Hearts are a tricky lapidary shape, and we're still learning how to do them well. The little V in the heart requires you to work on the edge of the wheel, a delicate operation. I'd like to share with you a technique that I'm sure has been done many times, but it's new to me. I found this amazing siltstone on the river in a rainbow of colors, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I could somehow attach these together to make a single stone? Well, slab saw and super glue to the rescue. I cut a little slice about 1/8 inch deep, and then made sure each slab was perfectly flat. The flat pieces will ensure that the glue will hold fast. Then I used a Sharpie to draw a shape on the laminated stone. Because there are 3 layers to the shape, the dome shape needs to be at a pretty steep angle. This means the top layer will be fairly thin, but all the layers will be shiny and beautiful. This is Jim working on our very old HP grinder polisher. We use this to do the basic shaping because the wheels are just rugged and they take stuff off like nobody's business. You can see here he's working on the V shape where you're using the edge of the wheel. That's the first step, and then after that we take it over to the Cab King where he works on putting a dome on the thing. Jim is very, very good at cabbing just kind of naturally, but he is a beginner, and the hearts have been a challenge for him. They just are a little trickier because they have that little V that you have to try to figure out how to polish it without getting in the way of the other side. You can see the colors are coming out beautifully, and each one of them is a separate layer in this stone, and it just looks like it was made that way. I just think it's really, really cool. I'm going to try this technique with the big 3, jasper, petrified wood, and agate, but I wanted to practice with something that was a little bit more common first. After we'd done a few of these, we got a surprise gift from a woman who runs the shop Cabtopia on Etsy. Cabtopia has lots of awesome templates. I've left a link in the description. Using those templates, we then made some more heart shapes. Practice makes perfect. While we are watching the process here, let me tell you a little bit about what I found out about hearts. I'm like, what the heck is the deal with hearts in the first place? We know through modern medicine our hearts don't look anything like that. So what is the deal? Well, it's super interesting. Being someone who loves research, I looked it up and I'm going to share it with you. The history of the two-lobed heart shape goes back a long, long ways. They disagree about the origins by as much as 1,000 years. So we'll talk about the first one first. Researchers disagree about exactly when the familiar shape with a point came into being to represent romantic love, something that the origins date all the way back to the 5th century BCE, to a plant called silphium. Silphium was an ancient kind of fennel plant, and it had seed pods that were heart-shaped. Well, apparently this plant might have been used as a contraceptive, and the shape came to represent sex, and love was just a short jump away. Other scholars disagree. They think that the heart's connection with romance didn't actually occur until the Middle Ages. At that time, people believed that the physical heart, your center of your chest, was the seat of emotions where we experienced emotions such as love. And so artists began representing the heart based on ancient medical texts. Aristotle got it kind of wrong way back in the day, and so the Valentine heart was born. The heart became really popular during the Renaissance when it first made an appearance on playing cards, and by the time 1800s rolled around, the heart's hold on romance had solidified. And today, millions of Valentine cards are sent all over the world, but none of them are as great as hearts in stone. Because we're still learning, we turn to a couple hacks to get that little pesky V-shaped polished properly. One of them is this rotary tool with diamond bits. It gets in there and allows us to get to places that are just really hard to reach on the wheels. It takes a lot more practice. Because we were preparing a lot of these hearts and we wanted to make sure they got super shiny, I turned to my Lotto vibratory tumbler. This is a new toy for me and I love it. It makes things super shiny, like a mirror. in these and many other treasures at my Etsy store, KatyDidRocks. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Kate from KatyDid. Keep on doing.